Hi, thank you guys for returning. The last video that we talked about reading an actual credit report from one of my real clients, and we just broke down the different segments of the credit report. Today I want to talk a little bit more about the factors that affect your credit score. And there are three main factors that I use, and those factors are your payment history, which is the biggest percentage of factoring in your credit score. So paying your credit card bills and your installment loans, just making sure that you pay everything one time is the biggest factor. The next biggest factor is the debt to credit ratio. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in this video in detail. And then the last factor is your account length, the length of the history of your account. So if you've had a credit card in 1999, that factors into your credit score when determining what your actual score will be. Okay, so when we talk about debt to credit ratio, I just want to explain in layman's terms what a debt to credit ratio is. Like I said, for the more advanced credit people, they'll know what that is. But for my beginners and the people that are just beginning to learn about credit, debt to credit ratio simply means the amount of credit that you have available versus the amount of debt that you've used. Okay, and we want to keep those numbers, that ratio, to 70 to 30%. So you want to have 70% available credit and 30% available debt. Okay, so I made some charts. Excuse my drawing, but it's just so that you can get a simple understanding of what's going on. Now, this chart right here, is someone who has a 70% available credit and 30% debt to ratio, meaning that they are utilizing their credit in the ideal way. It means that they are managing their credit really good, and those are the people that have high scores. Those are the people that get the approvals and things of that nature, because like I said, this is one of the biggest factors in calculating their credit score. So then we have this pie right here. And this pie is the people that have 99% of their credit available and only utilizing 1%. We find that there is a small amount of people that can actually use 1%, of their credit. And those people those are the people that have the highest credit scores. We're talking 720 and above. Because in order to use 1% of your available or have 1% debt means that you are rarely using your cards, or you're using them for small things. Maybe you don't have any big purchases to purchase right now, so you're just going to keep that 1%, and that'll give you the optimum credit score. Okay, now I want to show you guys, I'm going to fold this over a little bit because we're done with that part. So I want to kind of show you guys this one right here. This one right here, the 50%. Okay, so it's 50% available credit and then 50% debt. This is where most consumers, if many consumers, this is where they dwell, in that little ratio right there. The 50% of credit, 50% available credit, and then 50% debt. Okay? And the reason why this is so important to know is because these two pies right here is where most Americans and where most consumers dwell when it comes to credit. 50% means that maybe I made a big purchase and I have not paid it off in full. Okay, so you still have a chance to get down to that 30% quickly as possible if you just make some payments on your accounts and get that debt down to about 30% is where you want to be. You know, anything between 1% and 30%, you're doing awesome. So now, with this, the last pie that we have here is 100% debt. And these are the people with low scores. They can rarely get approved for a bag of chips at the corner store. And a lot of people live in that pie. They live in that pie where, you know, all of your credit cards are maxed out, or maybe all of your accounts are in collections, or you have an account that you have actually went over your credit limit. And just a secret, in order for you to go over your credit limit, the creditor has to approve for that. So you know how sometimes you go to the store and you maybe have $300 and you go over $350. In order for them to approve that, your creditor has to approve it on their end for you to go over your credit limit. In most cases, you won't be able to. You'll get denied or whatever. So what my goal is, and especially with most of my clients that are living in that 100% pie, is to gradually move them up to a point where they are seeing the debt to ratio income, the debt to credit ratio move from the 50 to the 30. Most people don't go to the 1% pie, because like I said, those are for people that are actually using only 1% of their available credit. So if you, a couple of tricks if you want to kind of if you're in that 50% pie where you have 50% available credit and 50% debt. The biggest thing to do is just, if you can, is to pay your full balance. Pay the balance off in full and have 100% available credit, and then that way the next time you make a purchase, you'll understand what it means only to use 30% of your available credit. For the people that are in the 100% pie, most of the times it means your credit is plagued with collection accounts, late payments, charge-offs, and things of that nature. And in that case, that's where credit repair comes in. So you could either continue to watch the videos and let's get some self-education going on, or you can hire any credit repair agency in your local area. I always suggest people to use agencies that are in their local area, because that way you'll have an approach. You can be able to approach them with any questions or concerns, and they'll take care of you on a more personal level. If you have any questions about getting your credit repaired, or just learning more information, or asking any questions, you can send me an email at thinkpinkcredit@gmail.com, and I'll answer those questions accordingly. I actually don't have a website for a credit repair, because like I said, I'm a licensed real estate agent, and that's actually what I do. But I also help people repair and build credit. I do not accept payments until I don't accept payments until I'm actually began to work on your file and things like that. A lot of companies would charge you these upfront fees and things like that. I do charge a deposit fee. It's a down payment on your services. However, I work at a different rate and level than other credit repair companies. Okay, so now back to the credit to debt ratio. So we know that out of these four pie charts, you can tell exactly which pie chart you're living from. And when I say 50%, I just mean anything under the 30. So it could be 45, it could be 65, but as long as your debt is more than 30%, then you're not getting the full amount of points that you can be getting for that category, okay? And that tends to lead to lower credit scores. So I'm going to end this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, thinkpinkcredit@gmail.com. And if there are any topics or comments that you would like for me to go over, just let me know and I'll get to it as soon as possible. My goal is to try to get as many videos out as I can in a quick matter of time. So that was the debt to credit ratio. The next video I'll do, it'll be a small video on actually paying your bills and how to actually pay your credit card and revolving and installment accounts on time. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe and like my video.